In Friday's episode of Emmerdale, Cain Dingle made the emotional choice to reject radiotherapy treatment as he continues his fight against cancer. Although Cain is known for being determined and rarely backs down once he has made up his mind, scenes airing on Monday show Liam attempting to persuade him to reconsider. After spotting Cain on Main Street joking about council tax, Liam mentioned that he had recently spoken with Moira, who expressed concern about his well-being. "You could ease some of that worry," Liam told him. She explained the situation regarding the radiotherapy, or the possibility that you won't go ahead with it. "Are you certain this is what you want?" Cain firmly responded that the choice was his alone to make. However, Liam argued that the outcome of that decision would affect many people around him. Cain then questioned whether Liam had ever experienced losing control of his own body, and became irritated when Liam responded with humour. "There are things happening that you can't stop, and situations you can't change," Cain explained. Despite this, Liam refused to back down, encouraging him to accept support from those who care about him. The question remains whether Cain will eventually change his mind and agree to undergo radiotherapy. Meanwhile, upcoming episodes will see the dramatic kidnapping storyline involving Lewis Barton continue to unfold. Viewers will finally learn more about those behind the abduction, their motives, and the tense partnership developing between Ross and Kev Townsend. Charity Dingle reaches breaking point in upcoming Emmerdale scenes as the emotional burden she has been carrying finally becomes too much to bear. Over recent weeks, Charity has been struggling to cope following the devastating assault she suffered at the hands of surgeon Caitlin Todd. Determined to seek justice, she reported the incident to the police and was initially hopeful when officers confirmed that Caitlin would be arrested and questioned. However, those hopes were quickly shattered. Despite being interviewed, Caitlin was released without charge after investigators found insufficient evidence to proceed. She also insisted that the encounter had been consensual, leaving Charity feeling powerless and completely betrayed by the system. As if dealing with the trauma of the attack wasn't enough, Charity has also been forced to keep another life-changing secret. She recently discovered that baby Layla is actually her biological child with Ross Barton, a revelation that has left her overwhelmed and unsure how to move forward. Matters became even worse when Caitlin used the discovery to blackmail her, ensuring Charity remained trapped in silence. The strain has become increasingly noticeable to those around her. Family members and friends have watched her withdraw from everyday life, noticing her mood swings and growing isolation. However, nobody knows the true reason behind her behaviour. Instead, many have assumed she is suffering from postnatal depression. This misunderstanding has had a significant impact on Sarah Sugden, who has become convinced that she is somehow responsible for her grandmother's unhappiness. Feeling guilty and helpless, Sarah has desperately tried to support Charity, unaware of the painful truth she is hiding. During Monday's episode, Charity found comfort in an unexpected conversation with Cain Dingle. The pair opened up about the challenges they are both facing and found common ground through their personal struggles. Charity encouraged Cain to stop shutting people out and instead confide in Moira and Liam about the latest developments in his cancer battle. Surprisingly, Cain took her advice to heart and decided to speak honestly with those closest to him. While she was able to help someone else face their problems, Charity remained unable to follow her own guidance. Later in the day, tensions rose between Charity and Mackenzie Boyd. Although Mackenzie was genuinely concerned for her well-being and desperately wanted to help, his constant attempts to check on her only made Charity feel increasingly trapped. The pressure of pretending everything was fine became unbearable. Seeking an escape, Charity climbed into her car and sat alone with her thoughts. Overcome by fear, anger, frustration, and heartbreak, she struggled to contain the emotions she had been suppressing for weeks. In a desperate moment of release, she let out a scream before starting the engine and driving away from the village. Her sudden departure leaves loved ones deeply worried. Scenes set to air next see Charity spending time alone near a secluded lake as she attempts to make sense of everything that has happened. With the weight of her secrets threatening to crush her, she ignores repeated phone calls and messages from Mackenzie. As the hours pass without any sign of her, panic begins to spread among those who care about her. Fearing that something terrible may have happened, Mackenzie eventually contacts the police and reports her missing. Meanwhile, Charity's isolation takes an unexpected turn when she encounters a stranger who immediately senses that she is struggling. Rather than judging her, the newcomer offers compassion and understanding, encouraging Charity to talk about the pain she has been carrying for so long. Emmerdale introduces sinister new villain as Lewis Barton faces terrifying kidnap ordeal. Emmerdale is set to welcome a dangerous new face to the village next week, as a dramatic kidnapping storyline throws Lewis Barton into serious peril. The mystery figure behind the shocking abduction is a woman named Kylie, a character played by former Fame Academy contestant Pippa Fulton. Viewers with long memories may recognize the actress from her previous television appearances, including a brief role in Coronation Street. This latest casting also marks another return to the Yorkshire soap, having previously appeared in different guest roles over the years. The explosive storyline begins when Lewis prepares to leave for the airport, completely unaware that he is being watched. His plans are suddenly interrupted when masked attackers seize him and force him into the back of a van. The terrifying incident leaves him fighting for his safety, while his loved ones are left scrambling for answers. Not long afterwards, Ross Barton receives a chilling message informing him that Lewis has been kidnapped. The anonymous text contains a stark warning, claiming that Lewis's life is at risk unless a valuable item known as Penny is returned. Desperate to understand what is happening, Ross launches an urgent search for Lewis's adoptive father, Jeffrey, believing he may hold important information. However, the situation becomes even more complicated when Liam reveals a long-buried secret. Kev Townsend is actually Lewis's biological father. As panic spreads, Kylie decides to step out of the shadows. She approaches Ross directly and confirms that she is holding Lewis captive. Making it clear that she means business, she repeats her demand that Penny must be returned without delay if Lewis is to remain unharmed. Determined to find answers, Liam persuades Claudette to reveal Kev's whereabouts. Their search eventually leads them to Kev, who is busy selling cakes from his van and seemingly unaware of the chaos unfolding around him. When questioned about the mysterious item, Kev insists that Penny is a diamond he previously sold to a pawn shop. Ross immediately orders him to buy it back, believing it may be the key to saving Lewis. However, viewers soon discover that Kev has not been entirely truthful. The precious diamond was never sold at all and is actually hanging around his neck. The tension rises further when Ross and Liam receive another threatening message from Kylie. Shortly afterwards, she contacts Kev through a video call and issues a final ultimatum, giving him until the end of the day to hand over the diamond. As more details about Kylie's past emerge, it becomes clear why everyone is so concerned. Her lengthy stay in prison has given her a fearsome reputation, and those involved begin to realize just how dangerous she could be. Emmerdale is broadcast on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1, while episodes are also available to watch from 7 a.m. via ITVX and YouTube.